Hello, this is the RPG Pundit, the final boss in internet shitlords. And I'm here to tell you at this late hour that apparently I've been suspended from Twitter. It's not a permanent suspension, apparently, but you know, those are coming too, right? Why have I been suspended? Well, apparently it's because I've been sharing posts that point out that in some of the state elections in the United States, the ballots coming in, the numbers coming in, don't seem to correlate to something called Benford's Law. Benford's Law is basically a statistical law that talks about the frequency of the number 1 appearing in random numbers. Well, not in non-random numbers, in ordered numbers versus random numbers, right? And it's something that's been used because it's so consistent as a mathematical law that you can tell certain things such as, well, economic fraud mainly, but also electoral fraud based on a set of numbers not following the curve of Benford's Law. It means that it's been used in elections before, right? This has been done, admitted in criminal cases in the United States. And as you can imagine, the Benford's Law curve for the elections happening in these contested states where suddenly 137,000 votes reporting 100% for Biden came in, it's been completely out of whack. But anyways, so Twitter has decided apparently to ban to suspend a whole bunch of people that have been sharing that specific article. And I guess I was one of them. So I wanted to point that out to everybody, to explain, to anybody who goes at my Twitter to see what's up, is that I am temporarily suspended. I'm sure I'll be back there soon, but that just emphasizes the fact that you should get in touch and find me in other places as well. So, take a look in all of these videos, including this one. There will be in the description a long series of links. The top ones are links to products of mine you can pick up, right? But get down to the bottom and you will see links there for my account on Minds, on Mewe, and on Parler. And Parler seems to be the one that's getting the most traction now. Apparently there have been a couple of big name conservative figures that have told all their followers to move there, and so many have gone over that now Parler is crashing because of the sudden rush of new members. So if you go over there, I'm at RPG Pundit, right? Really easy to remember. But don't get discouraged if you go right now if you're having some technical difficulties with the website or the app, because that's happening because of the big rush of people. And I think that this is something that's going to only increase, right? And it's one of the things we have to do to fight back, is to create alternate media that will not censor, right? Because this is now, well, it's not just censorship. This is electoral interference, right? This is like serious stuff. It's I think potentially jail time stuff. If you're if you're saying it's bad if Russia does it, why is it good if Jack Dorsey does it, right? A weird autistic millionaire, multi-millionaire, probably maybe billion. No, he's probably not a billionaire. He's not successful enough for that. Have you ever noticed, by the way, that he looks like what's his name, Zuckerberg, except like in a bad disguise kit, he's put on a fake beard and wig. I think that's very strange. Anyway, so this video is not really meant to be an RPG related video. I haven't really been looking at any RPG news lately. As you can imagine, this entire week I've been covering the election on Twitter and posting about it there. And I had thought about maybe doing a live stream here about the election. Comment in the comments below. Please tell me if you are a viewer that really likes hearing about this stuff, or if you're a viewer that would rather not hear about this stuff on this channel, right? Because I'd like to know. And if you have your own channel that you have like talk on, oh, here comes Meatball. If you have talk on your channel and things like that, then and you want to invite me as a guest to talk about politics there, well, that's fine too, right? So I'm just saying I'm available, especially right now that I'm not getting any kind of my my usual Twitter. Oh, that's great, Meatball. Just point your ass right at the camera. Why not? Why can't we see your pretty face, Meatball? What a cat. Anyways, yeah, right now that I'm not getting my daily dose of Twitter, I'm really, I could really use some. See, even Meatball is jonesing back there. She's all stressed out because of the lack of Twitter. So yeah, but let me know in the comments. Let me know whether more of you prefer me to be doing just game related stuff, including obviously political controversy in the gaming world, or if you would prefer that I also sometimes talked about major world events or things like that. And anyways, pretty soon I'm sure I'll do another post, maybe a review. I've got a few books for reviews still coming in, and if there's tabletop news happening that's worthy of a post, I'll be doing that too. And anyways, in a couple of weeks we'll be getting, maybe just in time for when the courts decide to give the election to Trump or something like that, we'll be doing another inappropriate characters. That'll be fun. But yeah, I'm sorry I've been missing this week, and I'm sorry that this is just a post to tell you guys about my being suspended on Twitter. But it is important. Get in touch. Check out these other areas, especially Mewe. Parler's really good if you like talking politics. Mewe.com, mewe.com is really, and I'm not sponsored by any of these guys, is really, really good as a place to talk about games. So you get on there, and the secret is you go to the groups. And there are groups there, and in particular, there are two groups. There's actually three groups that I run on Mewe. One of them is the Inglorious OSR, and it gets a lot of chat and a lot of posts. It's a really good group. The Inglorious OSR, you go there and you'll see there's all kinds of chat about the OSR, a completely free speech environment. It's got about 500 members, so it's a really, really good place to talk about that sort of stuff. Then I also run the DCC game there. DCC group, the Dungeon Crawl Classics, all written out all together, right? Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's got, I think, getting close to 900 members, and there's tons of excellent DCC posting going on there if you're into that game. And then I also have the Dark Albion / Lion and Dragon group. And that group has, over 100 members. If you're a fan of Lion and Dragon and Dark Albion, or any of its source books or stuff like that, you should go there, check it out, and join in the conversation. So this is a good place to go, rather than groups on Facebook and groups on other big tech media, where that your speech is going to be controlled and you're not going to be protected, right? So we're creating new alternatives. Minds.com is okay too, but I think for gaming, and this is another thing, some of these sites can become niche sites of certain special interests, right? So Parler is definitely the politics alternative, right? It's basically like Twitter, but even more focused on just kind of talking about politics. Politics and news, I guess, to be fair. And then Mewe is a lot like what Google Plus used to be, and it's got I'm sure there's other stuff that happens on Mewe, but part of how Mewe is set up is that, the friends you make and the groups you find, they feed into other things of that same interest. And so unless you have more than one interest that you're actively searching, it'll look, to me, my Mewe page looks like it's almost entirely gaming, right? There's sometimes some stuff about comics or sci-fi, but it's almost entirely gaming, and it's really good. So you're missing out if you haven't gone to those yet. You should check them out, and you should do that before we all get banned from Facebook and Twitter and what have you, because after that it can become harder to remember or to discover where to go, right? That's my recommendation to you all anyways. And besides that, we have to keep fighting the good fight, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Not much else to report on that. Just telling people to get into the alternate media. It's very important. And I'm sure I'll be back on Twitter, and then I'm sure that not too long after that I might get permabanned from Twitter. But share this video, let people know what's going on. Like the video, subscribe if this is your first time here, and check out all those other sites. And if you want to support me and my stuff, well, you know, you can send me money directly via PayPal or Patreon, but which are in the description below. There's links to both of those. But if you're a gamer, the best way to support me is to pick up my products. Stuff like, you know, Cults of Chaos here, which is an incredible little book that's it allows you, it's got a whole bunch of series of random tables and then long descriptions of lots of interesting stuff that you can use to generate evil sects, cults, wizards, witches, warlocks, demon groups, con artists, all kinds of stuff. All, villains for a medieval authentic campaign, most of which are supernaturally inclined, right? And it is a fantastic, fantastic toolbox, if I say so myself. It's probably the best, in terms of game mechanic writing, probably the best thing I've ever written. So I would strongly recommend it. You can use it not just in any, it's not just for Lion and Dragon. You can use it in any OSR game, and it's very easy to adapt, to create. You know, if you need 15 minutes to run a game, you know, if that's all the time you've got before your game starts, you haven't planned anything, you do some rolls on a table there, and you've got a preset group of enemies and basically a self-working adventure seed, right? So be sure to check that one out. Check out Lion and Dragon. Check out Dark Albion and my RPG Pundit Presents set. And in the latter topic, I'm going to point out to you that apparently very, very soon, the World of the Last Sun is going to come out, which is a compilation volume that is basically all of the material of the setting of my epic Gonzo Fantasy DCC campaign. It's a guide to that setting and the weird things in it. It's got a lot of stuff in it, not just, you know, locations. It's got all kinds of also random generators, tables, statistics, creatures, items, magic, a lot of stuff. But it gives you either a complete setting you're going to be able to run right off the, you know, off the book, with different regions. You know, it's not like the map isn't all covered. It's a gigantic setting. There's no way anyone could ever cover it. But what it does is the book focuses on certain specific areas, right? So you've got, you know, the Northern Wilderlands, you've got Arkholm, you've got the areas around Gold Halkin and High Bay, and then you got the Zombie Empire, the Theocracy of Valerial, and places that are more far away, like the floating islands that are up, you know, the civilizations that are up in the sky, or the place known as the shithole. You know, there's all kinds of, you know, if you want some very kind of post-apocalyptic fantasy gaming, that's where you can play, in a shithole. And, you know, it's all a little bit tongue-in-cheek and a lot weird, but also really deadly, and it's totally made for playing. It's a product of an almost 8-year-long campaign now. But you can also totally cannibalize that setting and just put all the stuff that you find cool into your own setting. Some of those areas, like the floating islands or the shithole, are essentially micro settings in and of themselves. So there you are. Anyway, that's it. I'm just letting you know ahead of time that book is coming out probably before the end of the year. I would be really surprised if it didn't come out before the end of the year. Hopefully in time that you could use it as Christmas shopping. If Spectre Press makes its you know, fulfills its timetable, you'll be able to get it as a Christmas present for somebody or for yourself. But for now, check out all my other RPG Pundit Presents products and take a look at all of them and see anything that you like, from weird fantasy to historical fantasy. And there's 103 of them. The link to the products is in the description below. They vary from 99 cents to about $4.99, or $10 for Star Adventurer, which is the RPG Pundit Presents 100. Complete space opera game, and you can get a product that you can use, and you're also supporting me and helping fight the good fight. So basically that's it. Share the video everywhere, and check out my other videos if you've just arrived. Subscribe. Talk to you guys all soon. Currently smoking Lorenzetti Egg plus Gowitz Commonwealth.